Welcome.
Drake Z over there.
Welcome, everybody. How
On
are
to
you?
the next. On to the next.
On to the next episode.
Yeah. A perfect oxymoron.
Smoke weed every day.
Not every day.
Why not?
Because sometimes you can get edibles.
Better for your lungs.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Dude, this is huge. This is episode 6.
Nah, it's close.
It's
We
getting close to
closer
being-
that milestone.
So
I think
it's
6 is average, right?
6 is
Or
definitely
is it
average.
4? Is it 5 3/4 maybe?
Do you know I almost brought
Six.
a balloon to the taping today. I was gonna bring a balloon, but if I would have,
A balloon?
you fuckers would have popped it. God
Yeah.
damn it. You guys are dicks.
Instantly.
I'm trying to hype up episode 6.
Would it have been the number 6 balloon?
Is that like a mile marker or something?
I don't know. Yeah. When we've never done anything like this before, when we hit 6, 7's gonna be a mile marker too. It's gonna be the first 7th episode.
Nah, it just sound like you're just making up reasons to get balloons.
What if I like balloons?
Hey, fetish on.
Hell yeah.
Do not kink shame.
Mail us to our 4312, is that what it was? 4213.
The easiest set of numbers in all. Oh wow.
There's 4 numbers that are randomly put together. That could be almost an
They're
infinite
not
amount.
random. They're not random. Care of Doc Martin at 4321.
4321.
Literally.
Okay.
the easiest
I didn't know it was that easy.
anyone can remember.
I didn't know it was that easy.
It's you know how when you first set your password, it's like 1 2 3 4.
Fair enough.
Only an idiot would set his password at 1 2 3 4.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Balloons.
Or Stu.
Send balloons.
Mr. Pidley would set his password at 1 2 3 4.
Well, actually, President Scroob.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Man,
which
for y'all who
oddly
don't
enough-
get that reference, you need to take to Google right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, every time I
President
hear
Scroob.
President Trump, I think President Scroob.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
I don't know
have some
why.
fun.
Just
You're gonna have some
Yeah.
fun. Hey,
That
you're
is-
gonna have some fun right here. It's gonna be a lot of fun right
Why
here.
did everybody tell me my ass looks so big?
So, episode 6.
Yeah, 6.
The Scroob.
President Scroob.
The President Scroob.
Is that what this episode is?
Episode 6 is the
Episode
President
6
Scroob
is President Scroob.
We went from coffee flavored coffee to President Scroob and canned air.
Yeah, that's pretty
Canned
much
air,
about it.
that's right.
Canned air. Well, I am Martin.
I'm still Derek Anthony.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Tony.
So, welcome to our
6th episode.
6th episode.
6th episode.
So, maybe I don't know who that is, but who is President?
President Scroob from Space.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Seriously? You don't know?
Dun. Hey, okay, hey.
So, the funny thing is, I was
Oh.
obsessed with that movie.
The
No,
Great
apparently
Yogurt?
not that
And-
much.
Nah, just plain yogurt.
And now I don't know.
Captain America took his place.
Oh, that made me sad.
Yeah, Captain America is the.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Captain America.
My dude.
usurped
Took the place of Captain Scroob, or Captain
President
Scroob.
But do you know? We were talking about something earlier, and that's fiction from nonfiction. And
Fiction
Yes.
from nonfiction.
yeah,
Tasty.
Based on a true story.
you know, and
Okay.
the
Which Hollywood
Spaceballs.
is famous for.
Right, they
Yes.
are, absolutely. And you hear a lot of people, they'll talk about like movies that were based in reality. The only thing that was actually based off of real events is probably either the location or the name of one of the characters.
Well,
Yes.
Everything else from there is
Let me tell you why. People's lives aren't entertaining. They're not exciting. You can't write a movie or a TV show exactly as a person lived their life because it doesn't work. It doesn't follow that. Well, a lot of people don't believe that the hero's journey is something that is existent in storytelling, but it is. I mean, you've got the hero's journey. You got you've got that path that Star Wars followed to the freaking T. And human lives don't follow that, so you have to spice it up, and you have to put these obstacles in the way of a real person's life in order to make it interesting enough for people to spend money to watch.
Well,
so that's why it's
there
always
is that perspective,
based.
and then there is also the perspective of what was it? Hamburger Hill. They left things out of the movie that happened in real life because people wouldn't believe it actually happened.
Yeah.
Because real life is actually stranger than fiction.
Sometimes.
Can be.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Can be.
So you have both perspectives on it, where there's sometimes where you have to pull back on a story because it's not believable enough to be in a movie script.
Speaking of which, one of the movies I watched that it was actually everything that was in the movie was pretty spot on in what happened, at least by the people who told the story, and people that were involved in the story actually corroborate and say, yes, this is how it happened. Was no, Pain and Gain.
Yeah, I heard that.
Pain and Gain. I started watching that, and I'm like, man, this is that Hollywood has just jumped over on this one and like embellished it so much, it's just ridiculous. And then I realized, I read about it, and that actually everything that happened in that movie actually happened. The guy got ran over like 3 times by a van.
Really?
And lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Mark?
Rock and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
bodybuilding and robbers.
Yeah,
Have not
and
seen that.
and I read all the news articles from that incident, and they were pretty spot on with everything that happened.
At the end of the movie, they actually show you a lot of
Yes.
The news, the press related to
Yes.
the incidents surrounding
So
that.
if you watch that movie,
That's
know that
awesome.
everything that happens in that actually happened in real life.
Yeah.
And the fact that the people that were involved in it, like the guy's family, were really upset because they made it into a comedy, and I'm like,
Even though it wasn't really a comedy, it was just funny.
It was
can't-
funny.
You can't write that any other way than a comedy. I mean, you just can't.
And when you cast The Rock and Mark Wahlberg, they're just going to bring their natural humor to the set.
Right.
But that's what did it, though. That's what made it a comedy. It was
Yeah.
actually like a crime drama, like for what
But
it was.
But it didn't work.
It
as
didn't
a drama.
play that way.
No.
No.
So there was a channel on YouTube I just started watching,
Oh God.
and he was talking about how we're creating the new Greek gods with the Marvel characters, and they're
The
talking
new
about
mythology.
in like 60 to 70 to 80 years from now, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
People will worship them as deities.
No, but they'll tell stories like they do about Zeus and
Right.
Hades
Well, I mean,
and
Oh, so you
In
mean
all
like after
reality,
the
The cycle of
apocalypse?
mythology.
right. Like after the movies fade from existence, they'll look at these characters and talk about them like we do today about the Greek gods.
Yep. And what
Like-
role
So-
they played in culture,
Yeah.
what impact they had.
So like
Well, Thor and Odin and Loki are actually
they
Right.
are, yes.
But
Noted.
keep in mind, like
They're
about
reimagined.
70 years
Right.
from now, those characters that Marvel has crafted will overshadow the true Norse mythology
they will.
Yeah.
associated with them.
Let's not forget Loki got fucked by a horse. He did.
4,
Wait, what?
2, 1.
Wait, dude, what the fuck? What?
Loki's a shapeshifter. He turned himself into a horse to help save Odin, and he ran off with some other horse.
I like how Tony just pulled random
Right,
tidbits
like-
of info out his
Oh,
ass.
hey, by the way, Loki got
Hey,
fucked by a horse.
This
Yeah.
looks like
This was
chocolate.
an actual like Norse mythology.
That's some shit.
Okay, you're talking about like an actual Norse mythology,
Yes.
Yes.
not like
No,
this
no,
is
not-
not
No,
MCU.
No, it's not. It's definitely non-canon. For what it is, though,
I think I missed that part in the Avengers. Like, where did Loki
Yeah.
stroll off with the horse?
No, no.
Like-
but see, those tales will fade from existence
Yeah.
in about 70 years because people will be more concerned about how the Hulk beat that man down,
Right.
and then Thanos broke his neck. You know what I mean?
Right.
The god Thanos.
And then somebody will dig up this old like disc, right? And they're like, oh, I wonder, and they'll figure out how to play it, and they're like, look, it's real. It actually happened.
Yeah, because that'll be the only reference, right?
Yeah.
Right?
So no, I can agree with that. But again, that does speak well to what's that, nonfiction from fiction?
Yeah.
Because it's all about perception.
Yeah.
Well, history is written by the winner.
Victors,
so,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Marvel has won.
Yes.
Sorry, DC.
Hey,
Yeah. DC can't do it right, man. They're fucking shit up left and right.
I heard.
They tried.
I heard that they're
Wonder
gonna.
Woman will survive.
that was the
It
only
was
thing.
good.
That was the only thing. and because they had a woman director that had nothing to do with the previous movies.
But that's
Yes.
because that story was told so much better than Batman or Batman versus Superman or whatever the other movie was that, what's his name, Christopher Nolan? Nah, not Christopher Nolan. What was the dude? He had a good run, but when it came to that Superman stuff, it was weak.
You're talking about the guy
I
who
also
did the
like
Dark Knight
that-
trilogy?
Yeah. It was Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, he oversold that whole story. It's like, bro, Smallville is not that serious. Little dude saving people on bus. Like, all right, man. But Smallville was rocking on TV. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
the DC universe on TV
On small
is
screen, it's
killing it.
rocking. Yeah, I know. And
They're
my-
killing
I
it.
think
They just-
that Wonder Woman did such a good job because they didn't devolve it into nothing but a sappy love story because it was a female lead. They actually developed her as a character. The love story was a secondary.
Well, they actually just made a very interesting movie.
They did,
Exactly.
but they
And-
didn't turn it into a sappy love
Keep
fest
in
just
mind,
because it was a female
They
lead.
didn't
And
play
that's
it
what
like a
works.
superhero movie. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of their fault with the whole Superman and Batman thing. They played them like superhero movies.
Batman will always be a moneymaker. That's just going to be a staple in
People want to
history.
see how good or sucky it's going to be.
But
Except for the
Superman
one with
is
the
so
nipples.
played out, and you can't.
What?
The Batman with the nipples.
Well,
Except
yeah,
that one.
Bring Val Kilmer.
yeah, and the excessive butt
Why
shots.
would you even bring that up? Like, that's not even...
He said Batman is always a moneymaker.
It is.
Except-
It is.
That
It
movie
is.
still made
people
$80
still
million.
went to see how garbage
Yeah.
that movie was.
That's because Batman is the ultimate anti-hero.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But keep in mind, like, for what it is, we wouldn't even be talking about it if people hadn't actually gone to see it so that they could go, man, did you see how bad that movie sucked? Because really, that's all that conversation was about after
And the sad thing is, they had Arnold,
Yeah.
they had
Had
Tommy Lee
hella fine
Jones,
cast.
they had Jim Carrey.
Oh, my man,
They
Tommy
had
Lee
all
Jones.
of
They had-
Two-Face.
They
I
had the
know.
cast to make that like the best movie
I
ever,
know.
and somehow they fucked it up.
Who was that? Tim Burton?
No.
No, because he did the original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did the first
Who
two with
did
Michael
that?
Keaton. It
Yeah,
was
I like those.
different people who did those three movies.
Whoever
don't
took
know.
the helm on that one, man, I want to know what they made since that, because I couldn't imagine that they've actually done much
They,
since
uh,
that movie.
Well,
But-
Google it.
Yeah, look it up. See who.
Ooh, hey, I got an idea for y'all.
Director
like,
of
since,
what movie is it?
That's
Was
what's
it
that?
Batman Returns?
It's
Nah,
either
not
Batman-
Returns.
I think it's
the one
Batman and
after.
Robin.
Batman and Robin.
Or Batman
Robin.
Forever.
Oh, that's right. Batman and Robin.
Is it
Holy
Bat-
rusted metal, Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an idea. We should
Joel
do a
Schumacher.
round of hated or loved.
Yeah, Joe
You know what?
Shoemaker.
You know what? Until they make Robin a woman,
She is in the comics.
I know.
She was.
She was one of them. One of the iterations.
Well, there's four of them.
The
Right.
You had Dick Grayson, who
Right.
got killed by the Joker,
Right.
and later became
No,
Red Hood
no.
or Red Mask.
no.
Apparently in
Dick Grayson
2017,
was
Joel
Nightwing.
Shoemaker
Yes.
apologized for
Yes.
Batman and Robin.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. Joel
Dick Grayson
Shoemaker.
went on
Yes.
to become
He
Nightwing.
actually
Nightwing.
apologized.
Yeah.
Tim Drake. Jason Todd.
Jason
Todd
Todd.
was the one who, he came back as the Red Hood.
Yeah.
And he's kicking tail in those stories now. Like, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, their comics are so right on. I'm just like, why? Like,
They
how
need-
do they keep missing the mark?
They need to let Kevin Smith direct one. That's,
They do.
That's what they need
You know
to do.
what?
They
That
do.
would probably be a solid idea.
Because you're talking about
Kevin
true
Smith,
he
if
fans.
is.
you're watching,
Massively into comic books too.
Who?
Kevin Smith.
Hell yeah, he is. A comic
What do
book
you mean
man.
massively into? That dude,
Oh.
like,
He owns his own
you
comic
know
book
who
store.
Kevin Smith is? Like, since the whole,
Yeah.
like,
Do you-
Weed Man
and he's
Chronic,
Silent Bob.
Like,
Do you know
that
he
whole
sold
spinoff.
he sold his entire comic book collection to make Clerks?
Yeah.
That's how he
his
got the
whole
funding.
collection.
Yeah.
That's how he made his. That's how he got the funding to make Clerks. Was he sold off? That's a man who had a passion for what he wanted to do and sacrificed everything to
I
do it.
thought that was low
And that's
budget,
why
but
he,
that's a lot of
that's why he
cake.
put together that show Comic Book Man,
Yeah.
just because that's how.
So he could get his comic books back.
Well, that's
Probably.
that's
So
why
he could-
it's just in that one store,
Yeah.
the whole movie, because they bought that entire building and had to restage it for cameras and everything like that.
Oh.
So when
he
you
bought
get into
the building,
he bought the whole building, that the Clerks building,
Yeah.
and then it later became into like Jay and Silent Bob.
damn.
That whole building, that whole mini strip,
Keep
he
in mind-
bought that entire thing and set it up for those movies.
Did you ever read Blunt Man and Chronic?
That's nuts. No, I didn't.
Yeah, he wrote that, and I mean, Chasing Amy was when you first
That
saw
was
that
really good.
when you
Right,
saw that
yeah.
breakthrough, because
Yeah.
it actually rolled out right along there. You actually see it in the movie Chasing Amy. But yeah, that's when he started writing the comic,
Joey Heatherton. Oh.
And for what it was, like,
And he paired up with Ben Affleck, whoever the character was in the movie, and those two were the creators of Buntman and
Chronic. Yep.
Chronic.
Yep. And I mean, those like Mallrats, Chasing Amy, and Clerks. I used
Dogma.
to have all the screenplays. You said fuck Mallrats?
No, Dogma was.
Oh
Dogma.
God!
Dogma was. That was.
Dogma was such a fantastic piece of cinema,
Your
dude.
dog
Like
ate
y'all,
my
you
cat
need to
movie.
just run a clip of it. Like we'll stop talking. Y'all can watch 5 seconds of Dogma.
And
Yeah,
then
even though it does have Ben Affleck in it, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, seriously.
man, why does
Even though-
everybody hate on him so much?
It's not hate.
You know
it's
what?
just contempt.
As long as he stays within his realm, he does well.
And
What is his rank?
realm?
Doing terrible.
Okay.
Not true, because if you watch Good Will Hunting, the only movie he was actually like.
No. Hold on.
He
Hold on.
wasn't bad in Pearl Harbor.
Yes, he was. Jeez. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. if you want to talk about, I've never actually physically hated an actor before for a movie they've done, until I saw Pearl Harbor and Ben Affleck in it.
And Cooper Gooding Jr.
No, he was awesome in it.
No.
So was the other guy.
Snow Dogs.
Come on, man. Why are we doing this?
Because you have.
No, he was good in what was the one where he played the journalist? He actually wrote that back in the 70s. It was one of the latest one. He won an Oscar for it or some shit.
I don't know. Was it Snow Dogs?
No, Ben Affleck.
Oh, Ben Affleck. But Kate Beckinsale, Cuban Gooding Jr., and I think his name is Josh something. Josh
Josh
Argo.
Hartnett.
Sorry.
Yeah. Those three did
Just
amazing.
popped in on me. Argo. He did a really good job in
Like
Argo.
those three
Argo,
actors
fuck yourself.
made Pearl Harbor watchable. And then Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck looked like he literally woke up, gave 2 fucks on his way to work, and then I feel like they had to wake him up every
No,
time
he never
before they.
gave fucks.
I was about to say, you was giving him like massive credit right there.
Like it looked like they had to wake him up, and then he just read his lines.
Yeah.
Like
That's what
But
he does.
that's what he
in
does.
everything. Yeah, that's
but it was
that's his method.
it was
Right.
terrible. like it was. And that was such a strong movie. Like, that could have been an awesome movie if it wasn't for him.
His wheelhouse is Gigli.
And was he good in that?
No,
No,
I'm
that
gonna
whole
say,
movie
you
was
know, you know
horrible.
where he really shines? He shines in anything that features Boston as a backdrop.
Actually, anything that he's written, he does well in. Because
Yeah.
he and Matt Damon wrote
Because he tries.
Goodwill.
He tries.
He wrote Argo.
Yeah.
Argo was actually kind of good though.
Yeah.
So basically, he's just like a passion project actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
it-
not
because
feeling-
because obviously he's got some kind of passion behind it, so probably that's why he does better. The other films
Yeah,
he
but
just
if
kind of
it's
shows
just
up.
for a check, he's like, man.
Yeah,
Like he has the look of Bruce Wayne. Like he could have pulled the
No.
look off.
No.
Really?
No.
I think he does. I think he's got the good smug.
Yeah,
I'm an
I
asshole.
do think he's got that.
No.
Like
Michael Keaton.
I think he's
is
got
It's the
that much.
penultimate.
Yes,
Like
yes,
that
in
dude,
his youth.
he epitomizes what you imagine. Like if I imagine Bruce Wayne from the comics just stepping off the page, all I see is Michael Keaton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he has that back and forth. It's a very dry wit, but it's kind of
Yeah.
At times it can be sardonic, but he's a very
Sardonic.
charismatic dude
Derek, breaking
The
out the
when he's
$5
not
words.
Batman.
But
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Right.
Subtle.
But Michael can't do it anymore. So for the person in our day and age that can do it, he has the look. He just
look.
doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the ability to
Oh, 'cause he
portray a
got the
character.
chin. Because he has that chin.
Well, he's
the
got that
chin.
good.
That
lower
lower,
lip.
cow face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
He
lower
very,
third
very
face.
much.
Yeah,
He's
lower
got
third
the lower
face.
third face. No, he does. Like, I admit, the man
And he
got
has
the
the
angular
strong
jaw.
nose. He's got the jaw.
Yeah,
he's
but
got the
it's
chin.
everything that comes out of that
Yes.
area that makes it like, could you just sit down and keep it to yourself?
Like I wish they would have just got someone who could actually act and just dubbed over his voice
That would have been hot.
and just
That
have
would've
him
been
as
hot.
the face.
That would have been hot. Like, that would have been hot if they had just, like, dubbed
Like-
over.
Like
Kinda
Arnold
like-
Schwarzenegger and what was that movie? The first movie he
Conan
did?
the Barbarian.
The original.
No.
Yeah, it had someone else
Something-
voicing. 'cause
Hercules
it's-
in New York.
Yeah, that was his very, very first movie. Well,
That would've
not
worked.
his very first
Yeah,
appearance.
and
but
they
that was his very
dubbed,
first
they
starring
dubbed,
role.
they dubbed
Yeah,
Somebody's voice
and that
over
was great.
his.
Hell yeah! Did you? He couldn't talk for anything.
Yeah.
"Get to the chopper now."
Which the funny thing is later down
It's
the
not
road,
the Tumba.
that's what made him so popular was his
his
accent
His voice, yeah.
and how he said words.
And I'm telling you the truth. Anytime you own your flaws, you're gonna do well.
Right.
Yep.
And he did.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing about that Pain and Gain movie. It's like it wasn't supposed to be a comedy, but because they owned the flaws of those two guys so well, you know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't necessarily
Wasn't it? I think it was listed as a comedy, wasn't it? It was produced as a comedy.
I thought it was a crime drama.
That's a good question.
Hey, it looks like
But
something
for what it
happened
is,
to
though,
them.
the ownership that those actors took of those characters' flaws is ultimately what made that movie so acceptable.
But that's you
Yep.
know.
crime,
Action, comedy, crime.
But yeah, I guess that's really not saying much because The Martian was listed by the foreign press as a comedy.
That's
so,
the space movie.
Yeah, that's
Was
the
it
one
really?
with Matt Damon.
Well,
Is that
it was
the
a
one with
comedy
Jason
because it had
Stone?
Matt Damon trying to act. That's why it was a comedy.
Like, this is like a Matt Damon, like...
No, I hate Matt Damon and Ben
Oh.
Affleck.
And Ben Affleck,
fucking
Well, then
both.
let me save you the trouble. Don't ever watch Downsizing.
I
What
thought
was that?
the concept of that looked funny.
Right.
No,
The concept of that
the
looked
concept
funny.
looked
This
absolutely
should be pretty
stupid as
good.
fuck.
No.
Oh, the concept looked
No,
funny.
it looked that whole thing. You missed
The-
nothing, dude. You missed nothing.
Who?
No,
yeah.
obviously,
no.
if I can't be involved in a conversation.
Whoever
with
wrote that
something-
movie.
No, you're the most important person in this
Damn,
conversation
somebody shaved off
because
his eyebrows in that joint.
Okay.
No, that's
Downsizing
CGI,
is a
yo.
movie starring Matt Damon, Christopher Waltz, and Hong Chow. A social satire in which a man realizes he would have a
Jesus
better
Christ,
life if
my
he were to
God,
shrink
Matt,
himself to
yeah.
5 inches
Yeah.
tall, allowing him to live in wealth and splendor.
So this is
Yeah.
on the not watch list.
It
No.
was a love story.
Of course it was.
you're
because
the
his
most
wife
important
left him.
person in this conversation because you can't be in this conversation. You're the only one that has the sense and decency not to watch this trailer and be corrupted by it.
How can
did
I
not-
be corrupted by a trailer?
Because Matt Damon sucks.
He ain't got no eyebrows. I
Shall
can't
we
mess
watch
with
this?
him.
Only on Jewish holidays.
Shall we
Does
watch
he have
this?
eyebrows?
No,
There won't be any
that
volume.
Sucks.
Oh, there won't be any volume.
No.
Okay. I was kind of teasing
But,
anyway.
No.
Either way, he ain't got no eyebrows. It must suck.
I just don't like Matt
There's no
Damon.
reason.
Basically,
for
it's a
human being
movie
to not
where
have
they
eyebrows.
say
No,
that you
because
take...
they had to remove all his body hair in order to shrink him. Yeah.
Right. Basically, you take
process.
all the money that you have
Eyebrows.
and you live in this smaller world, but because of the smaller world, everything's cheaper, so like your money gets multiplied by. So basically, if you're decently well off, you'll be like a multimillionaire in there.
Yeah, if you
So
have
it's
like,
like
if you
moving
have
to
like
Paraguay.
$40,000 saved in the bank, then you're like a millionaire when you get shrunk down.
So it's
Right,
like,
and you shrink to 5 inches, and he went to go do it, and he wakes up, and he's 5 inches tall, and his wife went,
Chickened out.
sorry,
So
didn't
he
go
was
through
smaller
with
than
it.
average.
so you become a GI Joe.
Yeah, actually, G.I. Joes are 12 inches.
Well,
Giggity.
well,
original
the
size.
original. Yeah. I'm talking about the mass produced 100, 300 figure line. They were like 3 inches tall. So you become
Actually,
a
the original
Joe.
G.I. Joes were like, because Barbie was a lot taller.
Yeah,
than
Barbie was
Well, it
taller.
depends on if
Yeah.
you're talking about if he had the kung fu grip or not.
No, you talking about the original series of 4, because Kung Fu Grip was the last 12-inch
Right.
G.I. Joe.
Right.
But the other ones,
But it eventually, G.I. Joes eventually got up to Barbie's height.
Yeah, as the grip got tighter.
look, I watched the documentary Toys That Made Us. They did the whole G.I.
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Like, I really love that documentary series for it.
Those are good.
I wanna watch
I like
it.
those types
I
of
want
things.
to watch
Those
it,
are
yeah.
really
You
interesting.
should, because it takes you back, psychologically. But for what it is, there's some interesting stories behind
Yes.
what really shaped the 70s, 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s into the 90s. When it in terms of popular culture, marketing, and ultimately where we are now is a result of how we were marketed to.
Right.
But
Yes.
but life in the '80s was awesome. Like nobody had a care in the fucking world in the '80s, except for the Russians in the Cold War. That was really
Right.
the only fear.
Yeah.
I cared because
there
I
was-
had to say no to drugs.
Well, you didn't
No.
have the
Yeah,
media.
yeah.
Yeah,
had to
really,
say no to
really, did you?
Yeah.
Well, you were young.
Every third Wednesday of the month, Officer Friendly
It
would
was
come
Dare
by.
Day.
Mr. Edibles.
Yeah.
Mr. Edibles. I'd say no.
Officer Friendly. It's only because I said no so much then, am I,
I was-
so accepting
see,
of it now.
I was a little bit older in the '80s, and I didn't say no ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you did inhale.
Yes,
What?
yes, I did.
Aren't you glad they're edibles now?
I'm right.
You know what I'm saying? Those space brownies was rocking back
Space
in the day.
brownies.
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh, yeah.
Christ. Space
Yeah, yeah.
muffins. Do you see? In Colorado, they have pop, like soda, that they make.
Yes.
What's it called?
Oh, I have no idea. But I saw because we went to Colorado went to Red Rock to watch Nine Inch Nails
Yeah.
and Soundgarden before he committed suicide, which was sad. But
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
yeah, we saw him live, his last performance, and when we was there, it's legal.
When we was there.
When we were there, it was legal.
When we was there.
Do you know what? No, when we was there. I'm
Yeah,
not-
Orange
right.
Kush,
Yeah.
sour diesel.
It's legal
grape
there.
it's legal there.
Yeah.
And
Can of cola.
Hey,
the guy that we were staying with, he's one of our
it's
buddies.
legal
but-
medically here now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're actually opening up a.
We are not allowed to smoke it here. Edibles only.
Oh.
At Comfrey Corner, they're actually opening up a dispensary.
Yeah, but you have
And-
to have a medical card.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to have medical certification.
And next door to the
and
Comfrey
you
Corner,
are
a
not allowed to
doctor is
smoke it.
opening up an office to prescribe.
Oh, nice. So you can go in there for like back pain or
Right.
anxiety.
Yeah.
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 Good man. But
And that would be in
you can
this city, Ohio.
you can just walk in and buy it. Just walk in and buy it.
Well, you gotta get the prescription.
No, not in Colorado.
Oh, in Colorado, yes.
You can just walk in and go, I want that, that, and that.
Right.
And I started seeing
like
things in
candy,
there, like they had chocolate pies,
Ooh.
like chocolate cream pies, and I was like, all this food has weed in it. And they're like, yeah.
Man, have you seen the explosion in cannabis culinary?
Right.
Like,
Really?
there's like 3
Netflix
shows.
even has a show.
Yeah, I saw
a
that.
show-
But
a
you know who
cooking
did it first?
competition.
Vice. Vice had the best cannabis
Well,
show.
absolutely, they will.
Cannabis culinary show where like they broke it down. They told you how cannabinoids work and the effects of different temperatures like that.
Nice.
There was actually,
and then Netflix jump on it on some BS
I think-
shop type.
Was it on
Yeah.
Vice that was it Snoop that had a cooking show?
He might have been he might have. I don't know. I know I saw the one where they just
Like
it's
he
it's-
made cannabis wings.
he probably
Actually,
did.
the
Yes.
recipe.
But
Yes.
there's like a
And the sauce.
yes.
Yeah, he boiled it or steamed it.
Yeah.
And he mixed it in with like different sauces and covered his chicken wings in it.
Yeah, you could almost smell it watching
Right?
it.
Yeah.
good stuff, man. Like
can
that's what
smell
I'm
it.
saying. Like, all right, America,
The world's
I'm
changing.
not mad at you.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well,
I'm
I
not
kind
mad
of
at you.
am. I kind of am. You guys do a lot of dumb shit.
I have no reason to be mad. Everybody does dumb shit. I just don't get to see it all.
I know, but some of the dumb shit they do
Well,
haunts
you know.
my soul forever.
Oh no, that's Americans.
It's-
Americans. You know what I'm
Merkins.
No, no,
saying?
no, no, no.
It's
That's
statistically
not
proven.
Just
that-
America.
No, it's the world. It's people in
It's the
general.
world.
But statistically
That's what
proven.
I just said. That's why I'm not mad because it's everywhere. Like I'm.
People in large groups make bad decisions. That's
Yeah.
statistically
Yes.
proven.
And then Americans as individuals tend to not make astute decisions.
Hey, it's all about that episode where we're talking about the disengagement of the who's he what's it where you.
Gotta love callbacks, y'all. Oh, what episode is that, huh?
I don't remember.
Post in the comments below if you
It was before episode 4, I think.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. I
No,
think it might
he
have been
has no
episode
clue.
3.
3 was the satellite uplink,
Yes.
Oh, okay, then it wasn't 3.
I'm glad y'all remember.
and then 1 and 2 was kind of a blur to me, and then 4 was the game show.
1 and 2 was the
Was 4 the
introduction to
game show?
cerebral assault.
Yeah, because
Yeah, that
we
was
actually
the-
lost an episode. The lost episodes. We lost an episode after we did the satellite link up. Because,
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost the
Yes.
superhero talk,
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
which we probably should do again because that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Damon got kicked off of Saturday Night Live for improving. That's how that whole thing got started. The In Living Color. He was on Saturday Night Live for like a week.
What you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, what you talking about?
And he improvised and
Wayans. He's talking about the Wayans brothers.
Yeah, but when was
He was on Saturday Night Live.
When?
That's,
when?
it wasn't the 80s.
Which
I know it
generation?
wasn't. Yeah, because I'm like you've just now stumped me. I've
Really? You
never
didn't know
seen
that?
Damon Wayans on Saturday Night Live.
That's because he got ejected for improv.
So he was never actually on the show.
he was on it.
auditioned.
Yeah, he was on it. He was in
oh, look at that. He
Oh.
was doing Weekend Update.
Look, that's
But
gonna
that
say
was 2018.
Yeah,
This
but you
is
see that one that says 95.
1995. Yep.
There you go.
No, look, scroll down. Comedy Hype is showing you where he recounts the episode. What?
Yep.
Wow.
1980s. Damon Wayans looked as the show's next protege.
Wow.
He's that old?
Fired from
Yeah.
SNL.
Dude,
I didn't think he was that old.
Yeah.
that man has had movies,
He's-
a sitcom.
But yeah, I know that's
He's got a
exactly
TV
why.
show right
that's
now.
why In Living
they-
Color started.
Isn't he part of the new Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't think I would like it.
I watched it. It was okay.
I've watched the entire first season.
No, I didn't. I didn't
Again,
get that much into
I'm
it.
sorry, shit's garbage.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because you gotta remember, like, Murtaugh and Riggs became iconic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
And so to see anybody else even attempt
See-
to navigate.
They are not the same Murtaugh
I
and
know
Riggs.
they're doing you know what I mean? They're doing
Yeah.
the TV, the sanitized version. Like,
It's not really sanitized.
it's edgy, but it ain't what the movies were.
I'm getting tired of the rehashes. Like that's what's pissing me off.
Yeah, it'd be
Right?
sweet to see some original shit.
Yeah, like
Right.
Okay.
if
all
they
right.
would have made it like their kids,
Two things here.
Yes.
that would have been better because it wouldn't have been telling the story again. You'd be telling a whole
Right.
new story.
Hey.
This
Yes.
generation.
A different something. Yes.
There is nothing. You can't write anything.
Yeah, you can't reinvent the
everything
wheel.
Everything's already been written already.
Right.
You can tell different iterations of it, but it's already been written. It's like this new show on CW. It's not new anymore. I think they're in their third season. It's called The 100.
Yeah.
That's basically Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. How many different iterations of Lord
Yeah,
of the Flies?
right. So I mean, there's nothing original.
Right,
And,
but-
and the second thing is producers are not going to take a risk on anything unless they know it's going to make money. They're not going to invest their money in something unless they know for certain that money's going to come back.
I know,
And as long
but-
as we continue to go to the theaters or tune into TV shows that they're rehashing, they're going to keep going back to that because they know people are going to watch it.
I know, but that's the same thing with the superhero genre right
That's
now.
why Netflix is killing it
Hey,
right now.
let me tell you something about the last time that superheroes were popular in film and television, like exploding like they are right now, just before World War II.
Yeah. That's why a lot of those
everyone
guys.
was looking for a hero to
Yeah.
save the day.
Well, that's why a lot of those
And
heroes were based in that.
is
Like
it
they all
odd-
fought in the wars.
Is
Absolutely.
it odd now that that's happening again? I don't think so.
No.
I mean, the more interesting fact is, like, the superheroes of today have become more source of inspiration because there's a certain amount of grounding in the storytelling. Like, you know, the big two relaunched their lines based on this is how this hero would actually be in real life to match up with what they're doing in the cinema, just to give it a real world feel. Not that it, you know, is genuinely reality based, but the idea is this person is now not, you know, Megadon, like godlike. And remember that first iteration of Superman couldn't be stopped by anything,
Right.
except
Right.
Kryptonite, which
Kryptonite,
for
yeah.
some reason Lex Luthor always had a stash. That was tight.
Like, how did this alien metal? How did so much make it to Earth?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like
Well,
that's
I
the
mean,
real question.
If you
Like
stop and think about it, if Superman made it to Earth, that means a
he
lot of
was
the.
in a rocket on a trajectory.
He was
how
launched
did, how
in a
did
pod.
3/4 of
Okay.
his planet?
So you take a
Because
rocket
the
and
planet
a trajectory,
exploded.
and
I
then you
know.
have you have the
So you got,
the
like, little
trail that
meteorites,
everything is
kryptonite
following along
meteorites.
with him. So if space is a vacuum.
I
You
know,
got a
but-
rocket going through
'Cause
it,
I got a
and you
pocket
have
full of
things
kryptonite.
going into that space.
There's only so
See what
much.
gets physics.
There's only so much.
Little Miss
I
can't be
promise.
wrong.
You know what? Hey, Carrie about to get her own spinoff, y'all. She gonna explain to us comic book physics. You know what I mean?
If I may butt in, wouldn't it be possible to create kryptonite since it is an element?
It's
but
a
it
It's
wouldn't
a
be
foreign
the same.
element, though.
yeah.
It wouldn't be the same substance.
It's not going to be the same principle because we don't have the
Question
the
from a
elements
live
on Earth
studio
to make
audience.
that item.
Right.
Right.
But the synthetic shit never works as well as the original.
I mean,
No,
the
it wouldn't.
reality
That would
is
be an interesting twist to make in the next movie, right? Somebody making
would.
some synthetic kryptonite.
Well,
that
Bruce Wayne
planet's-
did.
That planet's base elements were influenced by a red sun.
of course Bruce Wayne did.
Different wavelength.
He did
so,
in Batman
Carrie
vs.
about to
Superman.
get her spinoff, y'all. She's gonna explain the science behind all types of comic book things, physics. Might get some chemistry in there because I would
I'm
like
just
to know
saying,
about
like,
that
when
Spider-Man's webs. Can we make those in real life?
when a
Like,
rocket goes
Yes.
through, like when a rocket goes
I'm
through,
just
or
trying
take
to get a batch of that web stuff. so I
take when a submarine goes
Wanna make one
through
of them hammocks.
water, then things get churned up behind it, and things
Propulsion.
tend to end up following the
Yeah, it gets
submarine.
pulled behind by
Yeah, it
its
gets pulled
velocity.
behind by the
Yeah,
velocity.
yeah.
So therefore, when his rocket ship left Krypton, the velocity.
But
of
we
his rocket
need
ship-
illustrations.
I like that. Brilliant.
But we need illustrations because all that blase blah, I can't see it. So we gotta get you a spinoff just so we can get some animated illustrations popping behind you while you're describing it. That way I don't have to think so much. You understand? Like thinking.
I know, but still, those
There's
rocks.
You need
no
an
smoke
edible.
detectors in here. We don't have to worry about that.
Any rocks that would have been following behind him would have got burned up in the atmosphere. Like they never would have made
That
it
would
through.
be my main point of
No.
contention with the theory.
Depending on the size.
Depending on the size, but here,
doesn't matter.
what it
If it's
boils
bigger
back
than 6
down to
inches,
is
it might
how
make it-
did so much of it make it that far across? Matter of fact, look,
How far is-
let's just brass
Okay,
tacks.
take it.
How far
Brass
is
tacks.
Krypton? How far is
First of
Krypton?
all, ain't no baby pilot in a rocket
Hey.
from one galaxy to the next. I don't care
Alright,
if you
wait,
That's
reprogram
what I'm
wait.
saying. That's what I'm saying. How
Space
far was
farming.
it?
Like your man don't like.
Was it
like
light years away? 'Cause he
didn't
would have been,
drool
like,
as a
5 years
baby.
old by the
didn't
time he
pee as
crashed,
a
right?
baby.
Space farming.
No, he was in a cryogenic
Lex
chamber.
Luthor had
so
a
he
lot
never
of
would've ate.
technology. He went out
what
and
it
mined
was?
space
Yeah.
for it.
Cryogenics keeps you from
Oh,
aging.
Yeah.
I got you.
It freezes you in
That's
time.
good.
Especially if it hit the surface of another planet.
Exactly. Does that make more sense to you?
No, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
Again, Carrie's about to get her own spinoff, y'all. Because did you just hear that? Just like co-opted the whole thought of me trying to debate against it. It's like space farming, Lex Luthor, technology, bow. You know what I'm saying? That was spinoff, y'all. Sorry, bro. You gonna have to spin that off. That's a good one.
Spin it.
You can do adamantium, vibranium. Y'all can just ad nauseum because there's shows out there that
Wait.
exist like that.
There's a chemical
and
called
it'd
ad
be cool
nauseum?
if we could just get a segment brewing.
Yeah, I think it originates in that chair.
Excuse me.
But if y'all figure out how to make that Spider-Man web fluid, try and make me a hammock. So y'all can do that.
I think you can make it. I just don't think it's
didn't
going to be
his
as strong.
Didn't his last iteration of it like dissolve in 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he made it in a high school chem lab.
Yeah, I want the classic Spider-Man web fluid. He made that shit at home. Like I don't even know how he
You know-
made that stuff.
Wait, are you talking about Tobey Maguire?
No.
If you
Because
can
that shit
imagine.
came
The
from
original
him.
Spider-Man. I thought the original Spider-Man.
I'm talking about Super Friends
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
How about that spider raccoon, man? Did you see that on?
See,
on,
I thought the original Spider-Man, it wasn't
on
like
NPR,
fluid that he had
that
to
raccoon
make,
that
that
was
it
scaling
came
the side
out
of
his
the-
body itself, like a spider did.
No,
Nah,
the
it's
original
always-
Spider-Man
always been-
when
All right.
when Venom took him over,
That's the
Venom
only time that
Venom gave him the ability to make it organically. The rest of the time he used shooters.
Hey, here, look, let's touch on this real quick because my man over there, the assassin, brought it up. Hey, man, raccoons climb shit all the time.
Right.
All right.
But he scaled a friggin'
Just because
Building.
someone recorded the raccoon scaling the building does not make it exceptional. Here's the joint. I was watching something
climb-
today. Somebody made a very valid point. We don't know. That raccoon could have climbed that building every day of the year.
You know what? And he acted like he did. But you know what? Cats climb fucking things.
Yeah,
all
all
the
the
time. But they
time.
ain't going to scale the side of a fucking building 20 stories up.
I don't know. I don't
raccoon
watch
might have
cats
been
like
getting
that.
fed
I don't really have like extra spare time in my life to be like, what are feral animals doing with themselves?
You know what caused it,
I
right?
rely on Disney and Pixar to bring that information to me.
You know how that raccoon did that, right?
How?
Aliens.
Perfect.
No, because he's got a little fucking finger.
I know.
That's why.
Aliens
He
gave to him.
got full-fledged hands. Raccoons got thumbs. They can
Yeah.
open jars.
That's
like,
right.
You tripping.
That's
So can
Raccoons is
octopus.
for real.
Octopus can open a jar. They don't have hands.
Raccoons can even fit.
Yeah,
in,
but
like-
raccoons have thumbs. They can masturbate.
Fair enough. Thank you, studio audience, for the laugh track.
Well, you know that's why dogs lick themselves, right?
Nah, don't
they don't
try
have
to jump
thumbs.
from raccoons to dogs.
They're cleaning themselves.
Because they don't
Try
have
to jump from
thumbs.
raccoons to dogs.
So if you
Bro.
didn't have thumbs, would you lick yourself?
If I could.
Fair enough.
I might just jump from raccoons with opposable thumbs to dogs.
Right.
That is a poor segue, Tony. I'm saddened by it.
It was about the segment was masturbation, man.
disappointed in your segue.
Dude.
You're better than that.
Actually, that was a pretty good segue.
No, it's not. He could have went raccoons, orangutans, tigers, dogs.
Yes, but we don't know the masturbatory habits of orangutans or like tigers.
Actually, we do.
Yeah.
I'll
you
the
go to
zoo.
the Columbus Zoo.
You
Yeah.
can pull up
Got
YouTube
all
and
that.
you're gonna see some monkeys masturbating.
Yes.
So you can
swinging
you
food.
can even catch a gorilla throwing it back. Like there's a clip out there
Oh, yeah.
of a gorilla riding right. Like that drink been watching all kinds of evil angel flicks. You know what I'm saying? That thing's crazy.
And yet somehow
I
he
see your
doesn't find
point. I
time in
should've
his life to
segued
watch
much
feral
better.
I'm saying
animals.
there's an opportunity to provide a better segment. I'm just for what it is. And no, this is not the portion of the show we like to call the hard left.
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
We're not even there
Sorry.
yet.
Sorry if you took that shot,
Yeah.
but that wasn't it.
No,
So
this is
no.
a soft left.
load them up again.
This
Soft
is
left.
still the winding road.
Yeah.
Well, this is soft right.
Yeah.
We haven't hit the hard left yet. This is soft
No.
right.
Oh,
Yes.
so we're gearing up.
We're gearing up for
Gearing
that hard
up.
left.
Yeah.
Yes. This is the best part of the roller coaster ride. The
Anybody have
anticipation.
their wallet out?
Wait, what?
The wallet.
I said, does anybody have their wallet out?
This one over here. Gotta love those callbacks.
I did bring my dollar bills.
Oh, the old elephant. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's probably the hardest I've laughed in a very long time. It was just. I watched the video back, and it was just 10 minutes of me over here losing my shit while you
Yeah.
guys.
See, and he loses his shit all the time. Me, I keep composed. I don't laugh to where I can't breathe. I will laugh, I will giggle, but I do not get to where I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe.
For me,
That
it was
funny.
Derek. Derek's straight face.
No, what did it for me was he went off for like 5 minutes about he just could not comprehend
look,
why
I
the fuck
apologize.
anybody would rub a wallet.
I apologize.
And then it just like a light went on. He's like, "You're right. I'm sorry."
I apologize. All right. We closed out that chapter of perfect Oxymoron history. You understand? This is a new day. I apologize. I thought you accepted my apology. Obviously,
No, you did. You
Don't
did.
be-
That
don't
was
be
the
apology.
best-
Don't
that
be
was
sorry.
The best part. That
No,
was
I
the
didn't
best
say I
part.
was sorry.
That was
I
great.
said I apologize.
Don't apologize.
Because it didn't deserve. That was unwarranted. I do not like watch. I watched it twice because I'm like, what? What triggered me? Like,
You
Like,
were triggered
You
hard.
and
just,
that's
you just
what I'm
couldn't
saying,
wrap your
like-
head around why the fuck would I be rubbing my wallet?
really, that is stopped me.
And the thing that
You
tripped
were
him up, the
triggered
thing that
hard.
really, the thing that set on the light was like, it's not like I was chewing on it, and then like a light bulb went off. He's like, oh, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I for some reason I misconstrued the entire statement. It had nothing to do with nothing. It was just a one-off comment. It shouldn't have went anywhere. I apologize because I realized I was triggered. And I still don't understand where the depths of that rage.
It was
Like what you
was
must,
like
that must be a really
post-traumatic
sore
trauma.
spot. You know what? It might have been I was thinking about my first like body glove wallet, the Velcro.
Oh, those
You feel me?
things.
You remember back in the day when you had the Velcro?
Like the Velcro body glove or the hypercolor.
Yeah, like really
Yeah.
excited to have my very first wallet. Lost that bitch first day out, and I think I'm not saying that's what it was,
because you kept opening it.
yeah. But I think in my mind there was a
wallet.
correlation between having a wallet because I carry a clip now as opposed to a wallet. I carry a money clip. And just thinking about like I used to rub that wallet. I like the way the material fit. Like I'm sorry, look.
Was it Velcro or was it hook and loop? Because
Velcro is?
Velcro has like a
Hooks and
10-second video out. Take a look. It's hysterical because they get all kinds of pissed off when you call anything that is hook and loop Velcro.
For real.
For real. Oh yeah.
Fucking loop.
Well, Velcro, my
Yeah,
bad.
but-
I'm not in the industry, so I can give a fuck less what you call it.
But my point is,
if
my
it
point is-
sticks and if it makes that sound,
My point is, if you've become like a brand name at that point where they're calling anything hook and loop
like
Velcro.
Band-Aid.
Like Band-Aids, exactly.
Yeah.
or any powdered drink.
And
Zip-
do,
Ziploc.
do you hear
Ziploc.
Band-Aid get pissed off because some adhesive bandage
Or
is called
Kleenex.
Band-Aid?
Right.
Right?
Pull tissue
No.
out of the
Facial
box.
tissue
Kleenex.
called
No.
Kleenex? No.
Yeah.
So they should be thankful that, I guess they're saying that all those hook and loop ones that are not Velcro are inferior.
Yeah, it
And they don't wanna
diminishes
be
their
associated
brand.
with it.
Here's the thing. You shouldn't have made your shit so tight. That's on you. You didn't capitalize
Yes,
on
because-
your branding, so everybody else ran out, looked at your tech, and was like, "Ooh, we can do this."
We could do
It's,
that.
it's like a 10-second clip. They had
Didn't
it on-
Velcro start from NASA?
I think so.
I mean, a lot of that stuff like memory foam.
Because look, I know 3M doesn't call their stuff Velcro, but
No,
it's
they
the
don't.
same tech.
Yeah,
It is.
right.
And
But-
right there, you don't hear 3M over there in the background like, hey, man.
Well,
man,
3M actually will tell you flat out. that
3M
they
doesn't
didn't
make the
invent
things you buy.
They don't invent
They make
things.
the
They
things
just
you
make the
buy
things you buy better.
better.
Yep.
Hey, that's great positioning.
Right?
That's great
Exactly.
positioning. I don't have to expect anything from them.
You know, that's
I know
actually-
if I find some inferior stuff, I can go find the 3M version.
That's
It's
brilliant.
better.
Right.
Because that makes you money, but you don't have to have the time or the department
Yeah,
of,
the research and
Exactly.
development.
people
experience.
creating
Yeah.
stuff. They
Right.
just go, how can we make this better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know, that's
Dude.
actually, wow. That's more brilliant than actually making something brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
That's
did.
how it all-
They did make something brilliant by
That's
copying
how it-
everybody else's
right.
stuff.
That's how it's always been.
That's
Well,
you know what
damn,
and that's what they tell you in screenwriting. The best screenwriters steal.
Come on, Picasso said it best.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
just
What
take
is it?
somebody else's shit.
Good
make it
artists
better.
borrow, great artists steal.
Yeah, take somebody
Like,
else's
dude,
shit.
that's like historically. Like he spoke to a while ago. You can't write anything. Like, there's no new. You're not creating anything that's not been seen before. Either you have a really great version of. Because even speaking of, what's it, James Campbell or is it Joseph Campbell? Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey.
Joseph Campbell.
Joseph Campbell.
Yeah.
Like, even if you just look at what he did with The Hero's Journey or his exploration of mythology and the narrative that seems to, the narrative thread that exists in every culture around the globe and how it's been translated, you know, up until modern times where you have a movie like Star Wars, like playing.
Yeah, but Star Wars was actually written off of a book.
Yeah, it was based off of that specific.
It wasn't original.
But it was based off of that specific
Hero's
trajectory,
journey.
that specific journey. I mean, come on, man.
Lord of the
It was
Rings.
based on the Bible.
Yeah.
You
Lord
know
of
what
the
I'm
Rings.
saying? Like, all of it. Anything that's good is based off the same story structure.
I know,
as the
but there's
Bible.
actually original stuff out there, and
Where?
people are still
Where?
trying.
Shakespeare
Doing
wrote
what?
everything already.
Doing what?
Well, a lot of things.
Like,
Give an example.
just one example.
Let's see. Well, actually, any Marvel hero was all original.
I love how comics will fall back.
Wait,
fall
weren't we
back
just talking
defensive.
about mythological?
Well, I know,
deities?
but
Or Loki.
you're talking. We're talking about like
Original.
your Captain Americas.
Yeah.
You know, that was based off of a need of a country.
I don't know, because
Wonder
you
Woman.
think about it, Captain America and them Howling Commandos got a lot in common. His origin story is kind of based on the whole military genre that preceded the Captain America. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
It's just a
his
different iteration.
life.
Like even if you trail back through comics, like you can see the archetypes have always been at play.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of tweaked them, you know, cleaned them up.
Because I know what you're talking about.
How
like,
many archetypes?
like almost anything.
There was like 12 archetypes.
Yeah.
I think?
Yep.
Like any movie can be related to something, whether it's a buddy cop movie or a heist movie or
I mean,
you know.
stories, characters,
Yeah,
they're all based in a certain set. Like that's the cool.
The theme, the
The
plot.
cruel thing about reality is there is a limitation because it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
As long as it's as a thought or a concept, it doesn't really have any. It's not tangible. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have a fixed form. So as long as it's conceptual, yeah, it's original. But as soon as it takes a fixed form, oh, you can find something to compare it to.
Yep.
And that comparative analysis is usually what boils it back down to the frameworks that are already in place. And they've always been in place. That's what Joseph Campbell did. That's why the whole hero's journey thing exists, because he was like, wow, it's amazing that Native Americans, Indians, like true Indians,
The first.
Um,
yeah, exactly. All of
South,
your,
like cultures all around the world
Yeah.
in their cultural stories, in the tales that they use to basically explain life, death,
Yes.
how to traverse that entire journey. All of those stories share similarities, even though they're in different parts of the world. You can identify key points, and that's what the whole hero. Have you watched that? They did the
I have.
4-part thing. Oh.
Yeah. It starts off. The hero's journey starts off with the call to adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Every good story starts off with your hero who says he's living his normal
He's
life.
status quo.
And something happens where he's called upon to do something extraordinary, and the
Yep.
hero is
Yep.
always like, That's the refusal of the journey.
Yep.
That's part 2. He's like, I'm not the guy you're looking
Crossing
for. It's
into
not
the
me."
unknown.
And then you cross the threshold.
Yep.
And then once you cross the threshold, you always meet it's the meeting of the
Yeah, like not necessarily the old person, but it's a person who imparts wisdom or
Right.
experience. Somebody who's far more experienced who helps
Right.
lead you to the
right,
next
like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, in that
Right.
particular story.
I was gonna
Or,
say
like-
you just gave the actual plot of the Captain America First Avenger movie.
But that's every good.
That's
like
every
every
good
That
movie.
is
Great
every
followers
yes.
that.
Like-
And each one of us, think about this for a second. Each one of us, while hearing this, thought about something entirely different in our heads because it's all following the
Yeah.
same.
And that's what Joseph Campbell did by saying,
broke it
there's
down.
different dressings, but they're all the same like framework.
Yeah, but there has to be original. We just don't know of it yet.
There is original. It was back when it was created. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, new things that haven't been created yet. Somebody will come up with a new way of telling a story.
It'll always
But
be.
you-
Yes,
Okay.
but every time somebody comes up with a new way of telling a story, it bombs.
Look,
It's just a different iteration.
Well, I'm not
of
saying
the-
it's
of
going to
the-
make money. I'm just saying. It's
oh no,
gonna
it
be
ain't
an
even about
original-
making
No.
money. It's not going to be as attention grabbing, as captivating, as compelling. It's not going to do the things that great storytelling does, where
If it's-
it
if
actually
it's-
touches something in you that you automatically
I'm-
resonate.
If it's completely original, you'll be like, "What the fuck is this?"
One, I don't want
Exactly.
anything touching me on the inside. That's just weird. Two,
Obviously, you haven't been touched, right?
You've never seen 101 Dalmatians, have you?
wait, wait. How did we go from something touching me on the inside to 101 Dalmatians?
Don't be evasive. Have you seen 101 Dalmatians?
Which one? Yes.
I don't want to.
Not the-
I
not the
really don't
live
want to
action,
know
the
how this has
original,
anything
yes.
to do with
The
touching
original
on the
101
inside.
Dalmatians.
Yes.
And did you watch it, Stone Face?
Wait, what?
Did you watch it? Not stoned.
Probably not, because I was like
Stone
5
Face.
years old, so I probably didn't have that hardened mentality yet.
So there was a point in that movie where you were like,
Those poor puppies.
right?
I'm
mean,
I'm
I
not
don't
following the
Something
point here, Derek.
touched you emotionally.
Okay, I think I know what you're going. 101 Dalmatians is probably a bad. How about Simba's?
Old
How about
Yeller.
Mufasa dying in Lion King?
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
Who did not cry when Old Yeller died?
I
Come on.
didn't.
I cried when the Wicked Witch
That
came
dog
out,
deserved
threw
it.
fire at the Scarecrow.
I did too,
He
actually.
was a good dog.
I cried when
He was
the flying monkeys came down. I was terrified. I wouldn't finish watching the movie.
So it touched you then. It touched you.
I
It
think
moved
I
you.
think he was talking about being physically touched inside.
He was
my friend.
making a
First of
joke
all,
out of it.
listen. We're
Where are your
adults, okay?
triggers?
There comes a time in every adult male's life where somebody's going to have to touch you inside. So be prepared. You understand? It's going to come.
Just as long as it's not flying
You know
monkeys,
what? You know what?
I'm good.
I was at the doctor's office. I kid you not. My doctor, male doctor, at that time, that time of the
Every
physical.
great story starts with how I was at the
I'm telling you, right? And this motherfucker, he says to me, I shit you not. My doctor says to me, let's just pretend you're in prison.
No!
Yes.
First of all, why is your doctor pretending like he's in prison? What's going on there?
Because we're doing the rectal exam.
No, I get
Yeah.
why. I
Hey,
get
look,
why
no
he
hands.
wanted you to have that frame of
Right.
mind. The thing is, why is he using that as a frame of reference?
Well, it dawned on me a couple seconds later when I realized both his hands were on the
Oh, so you basically got raped. Yo, Dr. Rich. Tony,
I called the
I'm
joke.
sorry, man. That is messed up. I'd have been like, you could explain that to me or bought me dinner first.
Right.
Like, either one of
And he
these.
did use a lot of lube, though.
That's cool, but he could have gave
I
that
called
out.
the joke.
It's out. Okay.
That's messed up. Like, he ain't bring you no flowers or nothing. He was just like, pretend we're in prison.
No, not even
Like that.
no.
Did he have a deep voice?
Not even candy.
Did he have a deep voice?
No.
Oh my gosh!
No.
He straight
Didn't
molested
even
you.
whisper in my ear or nothing.
He molested you. Gosh, Tony.
Did he-
I
did
feel
he- did he
bad
comb your hair
now,
back when
man.
he was-
I will laugh at every joke you tell from now on.
But I
That
do
is
go
a
back
horrible
and see him once a month.
Oh, he asked you out again, did he? Like, one date's not enough. You gotta get another taste of Mr. Goodball. Almond
like a
joys
baby
of mouths, man, Tony. Almond joys.
Hey, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes.
When I go see the doctor, mounds don't because. Damn, Tony, I feel horrible now. I feel horrible that I'm making
See,
light of that.
I'm
man.
happy because I knew exactly where you were going.
Did you?
And I was like, I started laughing at me, like I already know where this joke's
Yeah,
going.
he knew where he was going, too.
It's That's so wrong, dude.
Man, pretend like you're
just
pretend like weird. Did he say weird in prison?
just so you understand, Derek, that was an anecdote.
Yeah. I hope it wasn't based on real life experience, man. If a medical professional ever told me, let's pretend like we're in prison.
But no, but for real,
I'm a doctor.
but for real, my doctor did say that. My doctor did say that.
Like,
Pretend we're in prison?
Yeah.
I would have ran out of there, dude. I would have, like, sorry,
I wouldn't
man.
have ran. I'd have been like, bitch, get off me. You feel me? Like, it's got to be a bitch in this relationship, and it's not me. You wearing a coat and some gloves. See this? Laying it down, like, ASAP. Be like, you next. You know what I'm saying? And then step outside the weight room like anybody else want it.
Did you say step outside the weight room?
Weight room, examination
Oh,
area.
waiting room. Gotcha. Okay.
Whatever area
I thought it was
in
like the
his
weight room.
facilities. I mean, if your doctor was buff, no wonder he was like, pretend it's prison.
Let's pretend you're in prison.
Yeah, but he, man,
Hello,
like,
Martha.
bro.
It's me again.
The only thing that would have been better if he has, like, the
Gonna
high
eat
pitched
that
Mike Tyson voice.
cornbread.
Just
Like-
when you thought it was safe to go back to the doctor. Coming.
What's all that? So if his doctor was like, so yeah, pretend we're in prison.
See, now you sound like Mike Tyson.
That's what I said. High pitched voice like Mike Tyson.
You don't have to pretend. I'm gonna pretend that we're in prison,
Right.
and you just take it, okay? And you gonna bend over. You just take it, and there's some suckers in the lobby for you.
Hey, you pronounced that S too well.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
I think we need to play a new game. You know what kind of game we need?
It's a new game.
Yes. See how many
After this
times an
conversation,
episode.
I'm a little bit
No,
frightened to hear what you have to say.
See how many times an episode we could break Martin.
Oh.
I thought we were already playing that game.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's.
Since episode 3, right?
If you guys had to take a shot every time I laughed, you guys would be all hammered shit right now.
God.
You guys
Hey,
couldn't sit
that's
up
the
right.
new
No.
game.
It's
a
not
new
how many
game.
times you laugh. It's how many times you can't breathe while you're laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
That's the line of we broke him.
Yeah. And for the viewers at home, you can take a shot, play along. It's fun. When you see us taking shots of water, you don't know that it's water. With flavor water.
Vodka.
This actually looks like a vodka bottle. So
What flavor? What flavor water are you drinking?
Water flavor.
Flavor water now.
Mine
you got
is
those
not
little
water
fucking
flavored
packets.
That I'm not gonna lie. That looks like she could be on.
No,
some,
the Neo, where you could squeeze the,
tequila,
or the,
yeah.
not Neo, hold on.
Whatever.
You can
looks like
squeeze it in,
tequila,
it changes the
ginger ale.
color.
Yeah.
Tequila
Yeah.
sunrise.
Mio.
Mio.
Yeah.
Something like.
You
Google
would never
that.
know
See what
what's
that
in
is.
bottle.
It's Mio.
Is it Mio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it changes the flavor, it just changes
No,
the
no,
color.
no. It does change the
It
flavor.
changes
Does it?
the flavor.
Okay.
Yep.
Nah, it's the
But
ones
it's
in the
got
gray
like some,
bottles.
but it's got like aspartame in it and some shit.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
The ones in the gray bottles don't. Them joints is
Dude,
horrible. You can taste.
none
the
of that
rat
shit is
poison
good
in
for
there.
you.
You can taste the rat.
Like, if there's an ingredient that has 13 syllables, you probably
Right?
shouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
If
Or
there's
put it
an
in
ingredient
your
that looks like it should be Russian because it's got 15 consonants before you see a vowel.
Right.
Yeah. If you need a college degree,
If
to
you got
read
that
the
backwards,
ingredients-
if you got that
Right?
backwards R in it with the 2 little dots above it, you probably shouldn't.
I ain't gonna lie, I probably mess with that faster than I would mess with something from cause like the European Union was smart. They was like, we can't sell Pringles, man. This shit's poison. America's like, hey, you want it?
Bring it.
There it is.
Hey, if you would, it tastes good.
I told my son that,
All the cool
and
kids are eating
unfortunately now every time we go chip shopping and I try to offer him, cause you know Pringles are cool every once in a while. He's like, nah, I'm not trying to die.
No.
I'm like, bro, you're 8 years old. You're
You know,
eating
they've
Pringles
changed.
like
They've
twice.
actually changed the recipe in those things because
It doesn't matter. The potato starch is not held together like
Right?
that.
No.
There's no way you
but-
gonna
well, that's
They're
because-
not. They're not
because-
actually sliced. They're like
No, they're not.
conglomerated
They're
just
formed.
formed.
something.
Right,
Yes.
from some weird.
But it used to be
paste.
they weren't even made of potatoes.
Yeah, exactly.
But now they at least have some potato in them. Some
Yeah. So,
potato.
see, here's the thing: when you're calling something a potato chip.
I don't think they ever did call it a potato chip.
Nah, I don't think they did either.
They call them
honest with
chips.
you. They were just sold in the same aisle as potato chips. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that's
assumption.
why KFC. That's why Kentucky Fried Chicken changed the name to KFC because it's not really chicken. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
About to
dude, you
say,
got
why
broke
would
my
you-
heart.
why would you
I'm just
lie?
Oh, you asshole.
Like, you realize people watch
You-
this, man?
you are
You out
kidding.
here lying like
JK,
a-
Holy
like
shit.
line like a rug.
Yeah, I was about to throw- if I had something to
What's
throw-
wrong with you, man? Yeah, man, you lucky
you
the
hit
shield
me.
ain't here, man.
I just threw Captain at you. I'm
And
sorry,
you
Captain.
hit me.
Well,
And you're
And
more
this is
sorry
why
the
Carrie
captain hit
spinoff
me.
will
Got
be
you.
premiering sometime after we finish our 20th episode.
because
Right?
Because Martin's throwing stuff now,
Yeah,
and that's
Yeah, I apologize. It's not KFC. It's Taco Bell.
The Pringles
That one I
actually
get you.
It does say
potato
potato
chips.
chips.
Well, it does
small.
now. It does
It
now.
has
Okay,
a
go to
potatoes
the
in it.
tall can. Go to the tall can.
You got to no. You got to go
Tall
back
can.
to you know.
It just says the original.
Right.
That was smart. Smart labeling. The original.
It says the super snack.
Hold up.
Potato?
Potato crisps, right? Isn't that what it says?
There you go. Potato crisp. Yes, that was the original.
man, y'all marketers are just
Brilliant.
bravo.
brilliant.
Hey,
Way to cover your tail.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when the lawyers got involved. They're like, no, you can't call it a potato chip.
But see,
There's
the
no
thing
potato
is,
in it.
the marketers took it to the lawyers like, is it okay if we? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
And lawyers were like, well, as long as
Technically.
nobody's looking too tough. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Technically.
Yeah, like scientifically speaking, no. Like literally, it is not.
42% potato.
No, sir, that says less than half of what. And starch and
42%.
flours.
Potato starch, corn starch, and rice starch.
Hey,
Flour.
hey, click on how bad is Pringles for you. I like the way that question is phrased. It's like Pringles. Like, is that one whole can? Or is that
one
like
Pringle?
several chips? Is Pringles certainly contain this dangerous? What? Acrylamide?
But it says it's found in essentially all potato chips, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's
no other way to keep a potato fresh on the shelf.
there's poison in nearly everything that we eat now.
Yeah. Fast food's the
I
worst.
like
Yeah.
food.
But it's everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Man, I'm about to go on that all sun diet. I'm gonna just eat sunlight.
It's all the preservatives and the things that make the food stay fresh longer. Well, not fresh.
I've discovered a new method
From going
of,
Keep
bad.
them from rot.
of
Keep it from
human,
rotting.
human
Like a Twinkie.
photosynthesis.
Right.
A Twinkie can stay fresh for like 20 years.
Didn't they say like in a nuclear explosion, cockroaches,
And Twinkies.
Yeah.
stainless
but
steel, and Twinkies will survive?
That's
Here's the
Twinkies
thing,
wouldn't
though.
really.
Twinkies, if it's that serious, then shouldn't we be using Twinkie filling as like flame retardant?
No, it's
It's the foam around it.
it's the sugar and the
foam
salt that.
around
The
the
yellow
cake,
part of the
the
Twinkie.
spongy-
Yeah.
Cake-esque material.
It's pretty much a radioactive shield.
Yeah, I was thinking I could wear them dresses like body armor.
You could if it
45 days
nuclear
for a
fallout.
Twinkie.
What is it?
Shelf life of a Twinkie is 45 days.
Now is that in or out of the package?
Yeah.
That's probably in the package.
Well, that's shelf life at a grocery store.
Right.
That's different.
Until the stronger preservatives made beginning increased it to 45 days. So basically, we're petrifying our inner
Oh,
organs
absolutely.
Yeah.
by eating anything that you're
We're
not
embalming
growing
ourselves.
and picking yourself.
Yeah.
We're embalming ourselves.
I know,
And see,
but you can't
that's
keep
another
fresh fish.
thing stolen from the Egyptians. So right there,
I know, but you can't
The
keep
more
fresh
you know.
fresh vegetables. That
No,
way.
the Egyptians would like take out all your organs and preserve you though.
yeah, but they had respect for you. You know what I'm saying? They
Absolutely.
didn't do it to you while you were alive. You know what I'm saying? Like they let you die first, and then was like, let's preserve these, let's save
Right.
these for you in the afterlife.
But the Egyptians they didn't live. They only lived to be like 45, 50 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, life is hard in the desert. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Like the areas near the
They had
Nile
the
and stuff?
technology to
Yeah,
build a
but back
fucking
then-
pyramid. They couldn't have the
That was
technology.
aliens.
Here's,
What?
That was aliens.
don't
everything
aliens
aliens?
smack the beard off your face. No,
Well,
seriously, the dude down
was
in
aliens.
Giorgio.
no, it was not aliens. My man down in
Ancient
Florida.
aliens. Giorgio.
What's
The dude with the hair. I love him.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the dude down in Florida? Ah, shoot, what is it called? Not Coral Cove, Coral Castle. He proved that sound technology could be used to lift massive limestone blocks.
Well, they also
Yeah.
showed.
Yeah. They said if they had enough slave power, they could have used the logs
And the
but
design,
but
but the design of the pyramids was to induce acoustic resonance. So the idea there is there's
That's a
some
theory.
real human technology behind the design and construction of the pyramids. Ain't no freaking alien.
but that's just a theory.
Yes, it was.
There are also obelisks around that they believe was that worked like Tesla coils.
Mhm.
And that pyramids were actually the center for those.
That's where the Thundercats got that whole opening sequence from, when my man
Oh.
Monroe get the four
Right?
Technitons pointing at. Oh, I love Thundercats.
I had the
for
biggest
that one
crush on
reason.
The
Cheetara.
Thundercats were awesome.
Yeah,
I know, right?
They took, they took it from aliens. All that
Okay.
technology came from aliens.
I had the
favorite
biggest.
Thundercat?
Why
crush
do you
on
have to be
Cheetara.
that dude, man?
Because it's true.
How is it true?
You know,
It's true. Aliens came through and taught
What were the name of these aliens?
aliens. So
Yeah.
They came from
So was it
Kolob.
the chest splitters, the face huggers? Which one?
Well, those were made up.
they came from.
Oh, those aliens are
Derek.
fake. But they, what were we saying about non-fiction?
They came from Kolob.
Not from what?
Okay, the studio audience is the only one that got that.
No, tell me
Google
how.
Kolob. Kolob.
Tell me how the same
K-O-L-O-B?
drawings
Yeah.
of the same beings are in cave and pyramid walls on 5 different continents.
Are you serious?
Some kind of
I'm
winged
sorry. Hey, he was saying
bird-like
something.
creature
What?
had came down to all these
Do
civilizations.
you believe dinosaurs existed?
Yeah,
It was an angel.
absolutely.
Okay.
Because there's proof.
So
Just like there's
if
proof
you
on these
believe-
ancient walls that there's aliens.
But if you believe dinosaurs existed, do you believe that many people have different interpretations of the same thing?
That's nonsense.
Oh my!
No,
You
I'm
know
just
what? Nah, that was dead on. though.
no, I
That
don't
was
believe
dead
in
on.
aliens.
See,
No, I'm
these
not.
guys, you guys are completely
I'm just giving you
missing the
shit.
Kolob conversation over here.
What is sorry?
Because that shit
Oh, there
makes
is no
no
conversation.
sense.
There is no
If you
conversation.
flip it backwards, that joint says bulk. You don't understand what that means in British?
In British,
Yeah.
bullocks.
Yeah, that's balls.
Are you looking at that?
First of all, I see that there's a Mormon the word
Exactly.
Mormon associated.
Exactly, and they have magic underwear, motherfucker.
I gotta stop. The what the?
Yes.
They have
Yeah.
magic
Yes,
underwear.
they have magic.
Yes.
underwear.
First of all underoos are magical.
That's true.
You understand? All underoos.
Especially if
possess-
they're Marvel comic
I was
underoos.
gonna say, just ask Spider-Man.
Man,
Spider-Man.
Superman used to wear them
Spider-Man.
joints on the outside.
Right?
That's how magical his underoos were. You know what I'm
His
saying?
were bulletproof.
He's like, I want everybody to see this.
He could stop sun flares. Superman could
With his junk?
with his junk, with his speedos.
And you know what always amazed me? Why is it like once him and Lois got together, how come she ain't never suffered for all that man super strength?
Well, I think he.
Nah. Ain't no way you tempering. Nah, you're not in the
Not
middle of
doing it.
coitus
Come
and you like, hold
on.
on, let me take my time. I don't want to break your spine.
You act like-
if he was really serving her.
I wonder how
If he
many
was
beds
really
they went
serving her.
through.
You act like there ain't steel dildos out
If
there.
he was really serving her. Yeah, but she's controlling it if it's a deal.
Have you watched
Right.
some of those machines that women use?
Yes.
They're
I
pretty
have.
much jackhammers.
And
Yes,
I-
they are, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right?
how?
But okay, wait,
look,
no.
She should at
because
least
they're
have
not, like,
had two
attached to anything
vertebrae
that like
removed.
thrusts.
Nah, because
She should be in hip cast like all the time.
She should have at least something. She needs medical attention. There's no, and they got a child now, so I'm really questioning the whole dynamic of their relationship. Like, did that man get like a turkey basting? Like, I just don't see
Well,
that
no,
happening.
okay, here,
Because
here
it comes out like a speeding bullet?
What? First of all,
no.
how was it he was knocking it down for all those years, never had a kid? You mean to tell me he was using like steel radio condoms? Like something that protected his super strength?
Steel wool condoms.
But
No,
hold
no,
on a
no,
minute.
no,
Hold on a
listen,
minute.
listen,
He
okay?
was an alien, so his
an
DNA
alien.
might not even bond with ours.
Thank you. So if
They got a kid now.
wait, if they
He
have
hangs
a
out
kid,
with Damian Wayne.
Wait.
That is true.
Watch. They have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Superman's a daddy.
Ah, you're thinking Lois had a.
Nah, kids got them superpowers. He's an
Maybe-
alien.
maybe
He's
Lois-
half alien.
Who is?
Maybe Lois had her own super friends on the side.
Here's
The father
the
of
thing,
Lois's
though. Y'all,
child.
y'all keep ignoring the fact that she should be dead. There's no way he was, unless she was, even if she was always on top. I could not see that man
Wait,
not shooting a hole through the top of her head.
How would she give birth to that baby without the baby just punching through her stomach?
Thank you.
That's what I'm questioning.
I mean,
Because he's half human. Just like
Well, I know, but if the baby is born and he's on this planet,
Look, his fingernails.
it's not like
was
Superman that
already
was born
grown.
on his planet where
She
he
ain't
didn't
get
have
no
his
type
strength.
of damage done to her. She's Lois Lane. You are an amazing woman. Not
Right.
you, who's in that movie with what's her name? That Christopher Nolan movie. You're cool. Was it Amy Adams?
Yeah.
You're cool.
maybe.
I thought you were
Your
going
face
way
looked
back.
dry as shit in that movie too. I was really recognizing they made Lois look really tired in that movie. Like every other Lois, well, no. What's the one from the original movie? Margot Kidder.
Margot Kidder.
Like-
Yeah, the one that went nuts.
Nuts, yeah. She
Yeah,
went
Margot
ape
Kidder.
shit.
You was cool. I ain't got no problem.
You were
with
cool.
But Amy Adams, man, you should have told him touch you up between scenes, man. You was looking
She looked real though.
Tore up from the floor up.
real.
Well,
tough.
because I think her and Ben Affleck were both sleeping right before they had to do their lines.
Yeah, she did look like she just wiped the crust out her ass before a lot of them shots. was
Wiped the
and it
crust
was
out her
always on
what?
her face.
Her eyes.
Oh, I
They
thought it
was
was
like-
my ass. I'm like,
Ben
"She's got a
Affleck,
crusty ass."
he brought no enthusiasm to that movie. Like,
Wait,
I don't
he
even think
was
he
Batman.
changed his
What was he
expression.
supposed to
He
do?
doesn't bring enthusiasm unless he writes it.
He was trying to figure out why
already discussed
Superman
that.
knew the name of his dead mom.
Why'd you say that name?
Yeah, which is the strangest sequence in that whole movie. It's like, why are you so concerned about that man?
It
saying
made-
your
it made no
mother's name?
sense.
Your mother's been dead for a while, champ. I'm sure a lot of people could look that information up if their
By the-
library
Or they
still
could
exists.
By the way,
Google it.
Is there a person alive right now that does not know the story? Okay, if you're below 4 years old, you probably can't comprehend it yet. But if you're five,
years old.
if you're 5 or older, you already know what happened to Bruce Wayne's parents.
Right.
Why do they keep showing that in every goddamn movie?
What?
Bruce Wayne's parents died.
It defines who Bruce
Why?
Wayne is.
Because
We know
That's the
defines
origin
his
story,
trauma.
dude.
We know that.
Look,
We don't need
Look.
them to do it every single. We don't need to see Peter Parker
Bruce
getting
Wayne
bit by
is
the
a
spider.
billionaire
Marvel proved it.
sociopath. Okay.
They proved that you can start off
But
without
that's-
an origin and tell a story.
But that's not really that's how Spider-Man got his powers. But that's not what turned him into Spider-Man. What turned him into Spider-Man was
His uncle being there.
his
he
uncle
wasn't in
being
the
there.
movie either.
Every fucking iteration of Spider-Man.
I know, but the
Hey,
best
nah,
Spider-Man as
Not
of
that
yet,
Homecoming. They left that out.
right? And the best Spider-Man yet, Homecoming,
Fucking Marissa
They
Tomei is Aunt May.
right?
Thank you.
Get in.
They did,
Oh!
but the new Spider-Man did not show him getting bit. It did not show his uncle dying, but
Nope.
yet made a compelling, amazing superhero story.
It did.
And they didn't need to tell the origins. Like he was already 6 months into it when we met him.
I didn't see it yet, so
Oh.
maybe I'll have to.
Yeah.
Damn, we should have told
Yeah.
us. Spoiler alert.
Sorry, my bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't know what happens in fucking
Sucks to
Spider-Man.
be you.
So why can't they do that with the Batman movie? I mean, why can't they just have us?
Because that is who Batman is.
I know,
It
but
is
that's
that
who
one
Spider-Man is.
incident that
Is.
defines that, not just that character,
But
but that
that-
man.
but
Because
that-
remember, the Ben Affleck version, he don't play, he don't laugh, he don't have no kind of fun, he don't do nothing
Right.
but feel dismal and depressed
Wait a minute.
about doing things that save other people.
He's playing Bruce Wayne. He's Ben Affleck pretending to be Bruce Wayne, acting like Ben Affleck.
I'm a dude, pretend to be another dude, pretend to be another dude.
By the way, that was brilliant, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
That was like the best part of that whole entire movie.
Yeah, it was.
What do you mean, you people?
And the fact that how pissed off.
Little man got
No, Ben Stiller would get with him because he's like, just stop acting, like just be you, and he would not break
You don't
character.
go full retard.
He would not break
so
character
lost right
once, and that was
Tropic Thunder.
even Ben Stiller's like, okay, cut, and he would not stop acting like that. Best fucking part of the movie. So
I don't know when we became a popular culture podcast, but as
Right?
you can see,
we're just
I
anything
think
podcast.
it started in episode 4
did it.
with the
Oh yeah, callbacks.
Word.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. We did. So ever since the trivia show,
The game
we've all
show,
devolved into. Don't worry, we won't espouse any
But
popular
it's
culture.
it's
leaders in here.
fiction from nonfiction. That's how we're.
Awesome.
See,
It is.
Who you calling
You're a
an asshole?
smart guy.
fuck yeah,
You're a smart guy.
I am a
Martin.
smart fella. Don't
He's
get
a-
me confused with the fart smell.
That's right. He's a pretty fart smeller.
He
I
is
see
really
y'all got
pretty.
jokes. Y'all got a little club going on or something.
But we're hitting that time frame. Good episode. Talked about some nonsense.
First of all, thank y'all for stopping by. It's been amazing.
We never did take that hard right though.
We did.
We did not.
No, we drove right past it. Like, everybody did not look out the window at the
Do you know
same
what?
time.
It was too hard of a right. We just didn't see it.
Here's the
drove
thing.
by.
Let's look. To be quite honest
thought
with
it was a hard
you,
left.
it was
Whatever.
supposed to be a hard left, but
It
we
was
drove
hard,
past
whatever
it
it was.
because that whole Superman and Lois Lane conversation was
That
right
was,
there.
yeah.
It was right there, but we
It
kept
was.
going, and ultimately came back to Tropic Thunder, which is fiction out of nonfiction, and that's where we're gonna go ahead and break this down because we did a good
We
bit
did a pretty good
today.
job.
So we appreciate y'all stopping by. Definitely, like, y'all really should comment. If you take the time to watch this, especially all the way through, you should definitely share your thoughts, share your ideas. If you're interested, we still looking for some designs for that Miss Idaho. We definitely going to do the team
Pterodactyl.
shenanigans.
Hashtag team shenanigans.
Hashtag team shenanigans. Matter of fact, I'm probably about to put that up on the website coming soon.
Hey, shameless plug. If you want to learn some more about Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, check out my my website. Check out my blog.
Nice.
TonyColby.com.
Nice. And come back. We'll see you again. Episode 7.
Episode 7.
Uh-oh. We on the highway.
Bye, guys.
Subscribe and share. Bye.
Yep, subscribe.
Ooh, she said it in a nice voice, too.